Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And it's that time of the year, the Royal Rumble. 29 men versus 1 man. The ultimate, handicap match, I guess. I don't know. They always talk
It's
about
not really the mechanics of the match. It's not really 29 versus 1. It's like 30 versus 30 is what it is.
Yeah, 30 men versus 30 men. Now, you know what's great? This year, there hasn't been a build to the Rumble. And because of that, nobody's actually said, I have to throw 29 men over the rope or whatever.
I know. I mean, Roman Reigns didn't even bother to personally declare for the Rumble. He had WWE production do it for him.
Yeah, he ain't got to do all that. Anyways, we're here to do our predictions for Royal Rumble. So, we've only got 4 matches, but we're going to talk a little bit about some of the, we call them on the predictions challenge prop bets, although this year we've got just an absolute insane number of prop bets. We're going to talk about a couple of those.
Yeah. Some of the more kind of salient or important statistics that usually accompany a Rumble, eliminations, Iron Man, Iron Woman,
right.
Final 4 for each Rumble. Before we get to all those, let's talk about the 4 matches on the card. Let's kick off with this one, which if you go to WWE.com on the Royal Rumble page, this is like being advertised as the headline match. It's the largest thumbnail. It's the first thing on the preview. It's AJ Styles versus Gunther.
You think this is going to main event?
I guess it's possible.
God, the graphic is so ugly this year.
They did not.
It's
not the A team on the Rumble graphics this year. No.
It's like on one hand, it's like really detailed and grainy, like the HDR is high on it. On the other hand, it's very soft. It's weird. It's both at the same time.
And like the weird kind of the cubist type thing they're doing with the graphics for each Rumble match. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, Steve, who's winning? Is Gunther going to send AJ into retirement, or is AJ going to get to wrestle for the remainder of 2026?
I think Gunther sends him into retirement, man. In fact, I believe 3 confidence points on this match. I think Gunther wins. They waited till this last week to really hammer home. Oh, AJ really all of a sudden wants to take the entirety of 2026. John Cena showed him what a retirement year could look like, but I just don't. Here's the thing. I'll be so happy if I'm wrong about this. I hope I'm wrong about this. I really do. But if I have to go with my head and not my heart, it's Gunther. Gunther up, Larson.
Yeah, Gunther up 3 confidence points as well. I mean, even if you don't even consider Nakamura's social media post, which seemingly all but confirmed.
Could be AJ, work. That could be.
It could be. PW Insider had a report saying that AJ was going to retire at the Rumble 2. Apparently, it's been known for months that this was the plan. So, Gunther up. 3 confidence points.
Yeah.
The only question here, though, and not really so much on the outcome, is the order of the card. Because if this does end up being the main event, it might change Gunther's fortunes in the Rumble.
So Gunther's fortunes would have been changed in the Rumble by the time this match happens. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, We'll get to it when we talk about the men's Rumble. But first, Let's talk about the women's Rumble. So far, there's 17 announced participants, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, unless they did more of these this morning.
They're on .com. There's Rhea, Io, Bayley, Lyra, Liv, Roxanne, Raquel, Asuka, Jordan Grace, Becky, Chelsea, Charlotte, Alexa, Nia, Lash, Julia, and Maxine.
Yeah, it sounds like the same as last night.
I mean, both of these Rumble fields are really wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, at least for the women's Rumble, you can kind of reduce the field to maybe 3 or 4 names that perhaps make the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's Liv. I think there's Bianca. You can make the case for Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's 3 names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Bianca. This is all predicated on her being cleared from that finger injury she suffered last year's WrestleMania. But it makes sense that they're kind of saving her return for a huge occasion like the Rumble. She shows up, she wins, she faces Jade at WrestleMania. It makes all the sense in the world. So I'm going to go with Bianca.
Yeah, that's a really good pick. She's actually at the top of the betting odds right now.
Oh, I have 2 confidence points on Bianca. I don't know if I mentioned that.
I've got 2 confidence points on my pick, and my pick is actually second in the betting odds right now. Not that that means a damn at all. Liv Morgan. I think that with Bianca, you know, obviously they would keep it really close to the vest if Bianca was going to come back at the Rumble. If they want, you know, if they want the big surprise, which they totally could. And so I think it's entirely possible she shows up in the Rumble, she wins. I think that's entirely possible. I think it's also possible that maybe a wait. Number one, I don't know if they've ever made a big deal about, especially now that the Chamber, seemingly, I don't think it's going to be used again to defend titles. I think it's simply going to be Royal Rumble B. You know what I mean? And so if they start making a deal about, oh, I won the Chamber 2 times, and that's where I get my bid for a world title, then maybe Bianca kicks that off because she won it last year. Symbolically, given what happened with Jade, Naomi, and Bianca last year, I could see that being the place where Bianca gets it. Also giving her additional time to let whatever this injury is, you know, on the finger, heal up, because apparently it's a gnarly one. So if she's ready for the Rumble, would they have her win? Yeah, maybe, but maybe they want to establish something with the Chamber instead. Instead, I've got Liv Morgan winning the Rumble. I've said this for a while now, so I'm just going to stick with it. I think her return has been a success. I think her, you know, asserting herself as, you know, kind of the leader of the Judgment Day at this point. I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense. If they do Rhea Io at WrestleMania, Rhea finally gets her win over Io Sky, maybe to some boos. But if that story really hammers home Rhea's the underdog against Io Sky, which they could because she's never won. And if they kind of try to frame it that way, then, you know, it'll get the response that maybe they're looking for without turning Io heel, because nobody wants that. But, and then Rhea can then go on and challenge Liv Morgan based off of their extensive history after Liv wins the title at WrestleMania. To me, that says Liv Morgan wins the Rumble. She's been close in the past, and I think that this is a great spot for her to win the Rumble, and I don't think anybody would complain about that one. But you could easily go Bianca, and I understand why you're going that way.
Next up for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre taking on Sami Zayn.
All right,
it's Drew with 4. Do we really need to belabor the point?
Oh, yes, we do. We do, Larson, because our hubris in the past. You give that look on your face, but what happened to Jon Moxley and what they did there with the Continental Classic? All the arrogance and hubris we had there. Oh, foregone conclusion. They're in Saudi Arabia. You know, there are reports that maybe Drew is going to be a transitional champion, maybe to get it to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn been talking about the world title for forever. He's come so close several times. Yes, I've got Drew McIntyre with 4 confidence points, but I'm just saying, we got to drop the hubris, man. The arrogance. It's got to go.
No, I think it's appropriate to drop the hubris as it pertains to AEW shows, because Tony Khan's been throwing us for a couple loops here and there of late. Triple H, not so much.
Okay, how about this?
What?
If Sammy and AJ both win, do we then drop the hubris?
No.
No. Drew wins here. I mean, honestly, like, I'm trying to decide what the biggest factor is for me. And I think it's because, number one, we're right around the corner from WrestleMania. I think it's because Drew just won this title. I think those are the 2 major factors here.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy's ready. He's ready.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
And this is a great place. And the other thing, man, dude, look, if this was an 8-match card, this would not be like, most confidence points.
Well, no, because every other match is probably more certain. Absolutely. Yeah. But it would still get a relatively high number of confidence points.
It's a 4-match card. So, somebody's got to get the 4.
Yeah, I'm more sure about Drew winning this match than anybody else winning any other matches.
Then Gunther, yeah.
So
yeah, Drew with 4,
yeah.
But man, the fact that Sami Zayn hasn't beat Drew McIntyre, then that's like a thing. Like at some point, you think that got to happen, right?
Yeah, maybe at WrestleMania 43, but not at the Royal Rumble. All right, let's talk about the men's Rumble match. The reason I mentioned match order, and this could play into it or it could not, is if AJ and Gunther main events, and Gunther, he is advertised for the men's Rumble. Say the men's Rumble opens the show. I would be surprised if Gunther wins the men's Rumble and then goes on and beats AJ in the main event. But if Gunther and AJ is earlier in the show when Gunther wins, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the men's Rumble. It's weird that I don't know why that is. It just kind of feels like in terms of it just feels like the story is Gunther just filled with so much confidence now after beating AJ, goes to the men's Rumble probably at like 27 or 28 and could outlast whoever's left in the ring to win it. That makes sense, as opposed to him coming in at 20 in the men's Rumble to open the show, winning it. It just feels like it's I don't know. There's two highs there, Mm-hmm. And for some reason, it makes more sense for him to have the high of retiring AJ leading to winning the Rumble as opposed to the inverse of that.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. To me, it boils down to this. So what are you saying your pick is?
I have one confidence point, and to be perfectly honest, I do not fucking know. Like every person that I think, maybe they can win. I could see a reason why they wouldn't. I could see, if Braun has the entirety of the Vision having his back, I think the idea is they were going to have Penta, Rey, Dragon Lee, and LA Knight, who's going to be in the Rumble, in the ring with the Vision at the same time, and they all kind of take each other out. I don't know if Rey's injury is going to change those plans or not. Maybe they'll have Jey Uso fill in for Rey, given that Jey has a history with the Vision. And that's not even mentioning the idea that maybe the Vision are just going to be at each other's throats with the prospect of looking out for themselves as opposed to working as a collective unit. Roman, he didn't even bother showing up in advance for the Rumble. He didn't bother showing doing a Matt Chat question to announce his entrance in the Rumble. Seems like he's out of the WWE title picture, and if that's the case, he will be eliminated by whoever his Mania opponent's going to be, most likely.
Yeah.
Who else is like a primary contender?
So you've got Cody.
Cody, for example. I just don't know if they want to go to that well of Cody winning the Rumble 3 of the last 4 years. I just don't know if they want to do that, as opposed to him being in the Rumble. Whether it's he and Jacob take each other out, whether it's Drew McIntyre again interjecting himself to make sure Cody isn't his opponent at WrestleMania and costing Cody the Rumble. I just don't. It seems like it needs to be a story of Cody facing even more adversity to get that match, perhaps winning Chamber instead to get the title match against Drew at Mania. Anyways, I don't know. I'm going to make my final decision after SmackDown. I have Gunther with 1. I'm assuming the men's Rumble is going to be the main event. And Gunther will come in late and just emboldened after retiring AJ, and he'll get the win. I don't feel great about it. Yeah. I don't know who's going to win, but that's what I got for now.
All right, so here's what Gunther has going in his favor. You mentioned a lot of it. Earlier in the show, and I do think that the men's Rumble is going to main event. Earlier in the show, he beats AJ Styles. Now, on one hand, it's going to be a 20-plus minute match. On the other hand, yes, emboldened by that. And in a Rumble, yeah, you always got to be looking, behind your back. But at the same time, if in kayfabe, they're like, hey, Gunther is declared, he's taking on AJ, it's going to be a 20-minute match. Regardless of what happens, we're going to book him to come in late. I think it's supposed to be randomized, and then they used to do a thing where they would fight for the number 1 or number 30 spot or whatever. And so Gunther could show up late and not have to expend that much energy and still win. So he's got that going for him. Mm-hmm. Behind the scenes, there are 2 people that Triple H absolutely adore. Gunther and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Walter and Cody.
Yeah.
Cody, he actually told about the Seth Rollins injury, something Cody did not need to know. So I think Cody's got the edge there. I think Triple H also understands that Cody as some form of champion, I think Triple H really wants, because I think he thinks it's best for business. And so if Cody is not champion, Cody being Royal Rumble winner is a pretty damn good, backup thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so the other thing is this. I still think that, to me, it comes down, I think, to Cody, Gunther, and Roman. I don't think it's going to be Braun Breaker, because I think they just did the Vision thing with CM Punk. And I think doing that again, I just don't know that that's going to be the case. I think the Vision, they've got too much in their favor for it to be Braun Breaker.
Well, they've done really a bad job of giving the Vision any sense of momentum heading into Mania season.
He doesn't seem like, yeah, exactly. I mean, there is another name that they could do maybe, and that's Jacob Fatu. If the Meltzer rumor that they want Fatu, but I don't know if that's just Meltzer watching the show and then coming up with that. Sometimes he does that.
Yeah.
So I see Cody and I see Gunther, and then I also do see Roman. Roman is, I think, the kind of guy who could just not show up for anything, win the Rumble, not show up, and he's got the Mania match. Mm-hmm. He'll probably be there for some of the Mania build. I could see Roman versus Drew, and Drew winning. Maybe Triple H being like, yeah, Roman Cody is boring, isn't on Roman. It's on the combination of Roman and Cody. And so he's like, hey, Roman doing the job for Drew McIntyre. My God, we're making a guy that needs to be made right now. And it's just that easy. You go back to, the Thunderdome bit. There's plenty of stuff. Mm-hmm. Drew being Bloodline Hunter. There's plenty of stuff you can do there. And you could do maybe Cody versus Jacob as a way to try to make Jacob into like a big deal. So maybe you could do that. Right now, I got Cody with one.
Cody with one. All right.
Because I think when Cody mentions, I think Triple H, here's the thing about Triple H. We saw this with Gunther. He likes to, and now we've seen it with John Cena. He likes to have his dudes now break records, make history. And even though Cody wouldn't be breaking a record, he'd be the modern Stone Cold Steve Austin, mm-hmm. or whoever else mm-hmm. did it, 2-3 times or whatever. So I think Triple H likes to do that. On the other hand, I think he would also love to have the show that's remembered for what Gunther pulled off, retiring AJ and winning the Rumble. And that might supersede anything doing it with Cody. So mm-hmm. again, I think this is kind of like the Liv Bianca situation. I don't know, but it's going to be, I feel like, one of our two picks.
Yeah.
And then watch it be Jacob.
All right, let's talk about some prop bets. Let's start here with the Iron Man and Iron Woman. Steve, who do you got?
Iron Man, I got Trick Willie. I think they like this dude. He'll be eliminated probably by Randy Orton, and then I'll motivate a WrestleMania match. But I got Trick. I think they like him. I think they like him a lot. So why not have it be him for the Iron Man?
All right, for Iron Man, I got Javon Evans. Trick has had an opportunity to really showcase what he can do so far in main roster. Just the main event, Saturday night's main event. Been mixing it up with Sammy, with Randy, with Damian Priest. Javon hasn't exactly gotten that opportunity yet. Been featured just as often during Raw commercial breaks as on the actual show. He's the Iron Man.
Here's where I think Javon will get the John Morrison spot.
Yeah, probably.
The Kofi spot, the Naomi spot. And I don't remember any of those people being the Iron Man. So I feel like Javon's going to get that spot.
That could be who we got for Iron Woman, Steve.
Roxanne Perez. I think she's going to have another great year in the Rumble. And I think she's going to be, teaming up with Liv. I don't know if Raquel's going to be in it. Probably. I think she's going to be in it, isn't she, Raquel?
I think so.
She has a title shot.
Yeah, she's in it. Yeah, she's in it.
Okay. So, yeah, I think I could see Roxanne being Iron Woman.
I got Io.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going
to win.
Again,
this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know, throw any name and they're awesome. Asuka. Could be Asuka. Becky. Could be Becky.
Most eliminations. I think Obafemi is going to have the most eliminations in the men's Rumble. What they show in the video package is hyping his debut as him wrecking everybody, and that's going to be the case in the Rumble. He'll come in maybe in the 16 to 20 range when there's 12 people in the ring and eliminate everybody,
Yeah, I got Oba as well.
For the women's Rumble, I got Jordan Grace, most eliminations. She's not going to win, but I think if she goes in there and eliminates 8 competitors, She can say, well, maybe I didn't win, but I had a dominant Rumble performance. Jade, give me title shot.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I got Raquel Rodriguez. I know I just didn't even know if she was going to be in the thing. You seemingly confirmed it. Therefore, I changed it from Lash Legend. It's always somebody big, and I think Jordan fits that bill. She might not be tall, but she's jacked. I think it's going to be the big person spot, so I got Raquel Rodriguez on that.
How about for your men's Final Four? Who do you got?
Man, I got Cody, Trick, Gunther, and Roman Reigns.
Cody, Trick, Gunther, and Roman. Okay. All right. So I got Cody because I think they're going to have him get as far as they can. So when he gets eliminated or taken out by Drew, it's more heartbreaking for Cody fans. I got Gunther because I think he's going to win. And he's going to come into the match late.
Mm-hmm.
I got Obafemi.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Brock because I wouldn't be surprised if we get Oba and Brock at WrestleMania. If it's not Gunther Brock, I would not be surprised if it's Oba Brock.
See, I wonder if it's going to be Braun Brock because of
That's
Heyman.
a possibility too.
You know, you got the Heyman stuff in there.
It's a possibility as well.
So yeah. And then the women's Final Four, I've got Liv Morgan because I think she's going to win. I got Io Sky. I got Rhea Ripley. They can do the thing. And then I got Roxanne Perez because she's going to be the Iron Woman.
I got Liv, Bianca. I got Asuka, and I got Rhea.
There you go. And there you go. All right. Well, hey. Let us know who you think are going to do all this shit in the Royal Rumble coming up this Saturday. We're going to be doing our live watch along. Also, we've got our the biggest ever predictions challenge, the single biggest event challenge we've ever done for the Royal Rumble. 400 plus points are on the board on this one.
Oof.
And so if you want to participate in the predictions challenge, get a chance to win some shit, go to the podcast channel, youtube.com/Steven Larson. Click join over there. Or you can go to patreon.com/Steven Larson. You can sign up for the Friendo Club setup there. It's $5 a month. Either way you do it, and you get access to the predictions challenge. Should be a lot of fun. Until next time, we'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.